Good morning, friends. You're tuned into Car Connection, where the coffee's strong, the stories are real, and the wrenches never stop turning. I'm your host, Niall Motormouth Jenkins, coming to you from the Car Connection Workshop, where the smell of fresh oil and a little elbow grease is all part of a balanced breakfast. Around here, we don't just talk cars, we live them. Whether it's a 25-year-old Jeep Wrangler getting a second chance at life, or a Nissan Rogue getting its brakes back in order, or perhaps a mystery leak that's got everyone scratching their heads. This is where we roll up our sleeves and get it done with a little wit, a little wisdom, and a whole lot of fun. The Car Connection isn't just about nuts, bolts, and diagnostics. It's about connection. Connection to our vehicles, to the people who drive them, and to the community that keeps Niagara rolling. Because when you fix a car, you're not just turning a wrench. You're restoring someone's confidence, freedom, and maybe even their sanity. We're here every week with the Motormouth 8 a.m. morning drive, Monday through Saturday, helping you keep your ride safe, reliable, and ready for whatever road lies ahead. So whether you're a weekend wrencher, a daily commuter, or someone who just wants to understand what that strange rattle really means, welcome aboard. Stick around for shop talk, expert advice, a few good laughs, and maybe a story or two. Well, lots going on this morning. I can't speak for everyone, but in our own backyard here on the south shores of Lake Erie, we have copious quantities of the white stuff. Yep, seems like we have been putting on the banjo just about every other day this year. It's a great Canadian winter, eh? So for all of you commuting this morning, give yourself a lot more time to shovel out, crank up the snowblower, and fall in love once again with the sounds of winter. Exactly. I put my memo in for the January thaw. Nothing yet. I'm trying. I'm pulling for us. So give yourself a lot of extra driving time as well. Take it easy out there. It's better that you get to your destination in one piece than have a vehicle upset, because in one single minute, life completely goes upside down and sideways. And that's what we need to really think about is, getting to bed earlier, changing our schedule, so we're not rocket launching down the road through the drive-thru. And if you're there right now, double check your order. It is Monday morning, Is it Monday morning every day of the week? Pretty much when it comes to the takeout window. If you don't want to be disappointed and begin your day with the wrong order, just check it. I've learned my lesson on that one. Yeah, one time I went through a drive-thru, the Golden Archies, 3 times. Yeah. I got down the road, I take a swiggy, I got hot water. I go back, sit in line, back through, they give me another one, I got hot water. I circle the building, I go back, and I go, look, this is it. I'm going to snap. I've just lost 20 minutes of my time to get to my meeting, and I need coffee right now. 3 times. So I actually called the Golden Archie service department. They were really nice. But I said, how is that possible? Really? Really? Anyhow, lock that beverage down in your cup holder, and thanks for joining us this morning. I'm your host, Niall Motormouth Jenkins, and I'll tell you, I have a million stories. One day, we will write that book, and you'll have to make sure that you put your cup down when you get to some of the stories, because you just can't make that stuff up. You can't. I lived it. Absolutely lived it. So thanks for inviting me into your car, wherever it is you sit and be still and have a great cup of whatever your morning beverage is, your beverage. We call them beverages. Yeah, we like to sound important. And let's get going this morning. We got a super title. Most expensive, cheap maintenance skips. What the heck does that mean? Really? Yeah. So again, take it easy out there. Take the time, clean the vehicle completely off so that you can see out all the windows. And that way, you know what? You've got full visual. And make sure your wipers are not frozen to the windshield this morning and you just turn them on. I see my neighbor do that, and one of these times, bam, they be brokey. He doesn't check nothing. He just gets in and hits the wipers. I watched it yesterday. I'm going, is he going to turn the wipers on? Yes, sirree. Just turns them right on. That's how you get caught, folks. It's when you use the word assume, everything's just jolly, and then it's not. So first and foremost, when you're cleaning off the car today, if you haven't lifted up the wipers overnight, that is a great cheap fix for those headaches not to happen. As I know it's cold out, and we all want to get in where it's nice and warm and get in our nice little warm comforter or a nice warm spot next to the fireplace and cozy up. But it's well worth the extra time just to lift the wiper arms straight up like antennae. Then you don't get to experience the wiper mechanism horror show, because it goes from $0 to $1,000 in no time, parts and labor, in today's world. So I'm going to unpack this for you. I hope you got your crayons ready and your leaf bag folded up. If you got a co-partner this morning, a co-pilot, then hand that over and say you're in charge of taking notes. Let's begin our morning with a swiggy together. If you haven't joined us, it would be nice that we're all in the Car Connection workshop and the heat's on and coffee pot's going and we can sit around and chin wag and have a natter, but we can't. So this is the next best thing. Raise your favorite beverage, keep an eye on the road, one eye on the road, one eye on your co-pilot, and we count it down 3, 2, 1 and have a swiggy together of our favorite morning beverage. Here it's 99.5% octane boost all the time. No decaf, no frappes, no lattes, just good old-fashioned coffee. 3, 2, 1. I have a hint of something in there. Might have been the screwdriver I stirred that with this morning. Yeah, I'm thinking there might be something foreign in there this morning. It's extra. That's an extra. People pay for that. All right, I wanted to unpack this for you, but before we do that, remember, everything we talk about lives at our website at carconnectionbusinessnetwork.com. What does that mean? It's the biggest drawer in our toolbox that we've put together with our web maintenance gurus, that you get to the home page. Everything you need is available to you to follow us, to connect with our program partners at carconnectionbusinessnetwork.com. The top right-hand corner of the home page, you'll see all the links for our YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed to that, you are missing a ton of education. You are going to learn so much about vehicle ownership that it will stuff your wallet full of cash towards falling out. To learn the basic fundamentals, that's what we're going to be talking about this morning. Most expensive, cheap maintenance skips. What does that mean in dollars and cents? Well, if you sign up for our YouTube channel, you're going to see the work that we do here in the Car Connection Workshop, and always they're teaching videos. Like I've said before, we're not building hot rods, custom rigs, monster trucks. We're just doing basic, fundamental auto repairs. What is the problem? So what it is, where it is, how it works, how it breaks, and what could you have learned as a basic fundamental and operation of that component that would have saved you money, because driver error occurs. And when driver error occurs, what does that mean? Get your wallet out. It's your dime. Something else I'm going to kick off with this morning as well. I'm just setting that off to the side so I don't forget. So on the home page, all the links are in the top right-hand corner. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Stevensvilleontheweb.ca. I'm there. My pops lives there, and the businesses there are amazing. There's a lot of amazing, talented people with business that are business owners in the Stevensville area. You might want to check that out sometime. That's where the Safari Niagara is located. There's some great eateries there, some of my faves. And they built us a profile page. So thanks to Skip, who built the website and monitors the website and maintains the website to bring together the community of Stevensville, because they're people. That's right. Stevensville has people. You can also link right to our iHeart Radio channel. We're on all the major platforms, Spotify, Amazon, Apple, or wherever you pull your podcasts from. Just type in the search box, Car Connection Workshop. We're there. And today is officially Series 1, Episode 70. We have put together 70 programs, all different topics for you, and they're all accessible on our library and on iHeart. You can pull them off of there. They're titled, they're dated, the topics, everything, so that you can quickly and easily find the programs that you want to listen, re-listen, and share with your circle of friends. We also have a merch store there, and the purpose of the merch store is when you buy some Motormouth Car Connection gear, proceeds go to Total Freedom Darien Center, New York, Total Freedom Sydney, Manitoba. Those are campuses for those struggling with addictions. And that's where they need to go. It's not a program there. It is a lifestyle change. And there is a new life waiting for those who say, I'm ready. We cannot, as much as we love them, and I've been in a relationship like that, as much as you love them to pieces and you want to shake them and scream at them, what are you doing? Veins sticking out. They're not ready till they're ready. And it's that simple. We just need to love them where they're at. They're going to say things, do things, blame things on everything, everyone except themselves until they say, I'm ready. That's what the Total Freedom campuses are for. Darien Center, New York is for Canadian and U.S. residents, men and women. Total Freedom Sydney, Manitoba is for men only. That's facilitated by Chris, Rick, and Robin. I always say Chris. I don't know why. It's Rick and Robin. And let me tell you, they both have a testimony about addiction. Both of them, husband and wife team. Absolutely amazing. So that's what happens when you buy our merch. You become part of the crew, but you also can say, I'm helping someone who needs help with addiction. All right, let's jump in this morning. You ready? Did I hear somebody say I'm ready? And I haven't forgotten. We've got our 30-day fuel savings challenge coming up after Family Day here in Ontario, which I think is around the 17th or so of the month of February. And then prior to that, we'll go through all the details. You're going to have to sign up and send me an email to let me know who's on board so that I can cheer for you and be your coach, because at the end of the day, if you have 2 vehicles in the homestead and you're the one that signs up, you're going to save about $100 minimum a month in your wallet, back into your wallet. And then once we get through the fuel savings challenge, I have another challenge for you to do that will also put vehicle ownership in control of you, and again, putting money back in your pocket. So I have over 44 years of experience with vehicle fleet maintenance service. And let me tell you, when the company hires a fleet manager, they're in charge of making sure that all the trucks, whatever the fleet is, it could be cars, it could be big rigs, it could be, moving type vehicles, but product moving vehicles and hundreds of them. The fleet manager has to make sure they're all being serviced to the nines. We don't have vehicles down losing the company money. Well, I took that and adapted it into, what if we treated our own automobiles like it was a fleet vehicle? Because fleet vehicles, they pack the miles on. So this big lie about 3 years, 60,000 K, you know what, Mr. CEO of the big three? If that's all you can give me for a warranty on your thing, I don't want it. If it's only good for 3 years or 60,000 kilometers, are you kidding me? And I got to go get another one, and then I got to go get another one. That's what Car Connection is all about, to prevent that from happening. Because the first thing they want, and I have a lot of dealership experience too, on purpose. I put myself, after I closed my shop, into a dealership so that I could see the nuts and bolts and the politics and everything that makes a dealership run. And I still say it today, the best dealership out there still has not been built. Period. They all got problems. All of them. And the customer is generally in the middle. There are others that are really good, they're really decent, but they still got problems. So I have that experience to share with you as well. Their motive operandi is to move sheet metal and rubber over the curb. And what we've seen from service technicians and my buddies that are all service techs in the last 10 to 15 years, the game plan for the car manufacturers is to get you out of that vehicle, and I'm talking domestics mostly, get you out of that vehicle into another one in 3 to 5 years maximum. So they're not pushing service. That's where you have to be in charge of your fleet. So mama, if he won't do it, you do it. If she won't do it, be the man, put the zipper in the front, and you do it. If you have a couple of vehicles or 3 vehicles in the driveway, you have a mini fleet that you need to track the maintenance. Stay ahead of the curve. Then you know what? You're not doing the home to work, trading time for money just to have a ride. Are you kidding me? No. I've never bought a brand new vehicle in my life, and I don't know if I would, even if I had drips of cash falling out of my pocket. You know, the stuff's falling on the floor and just going, can you clean that up for me? Thanks. Appreciate it. Just put it with the rest of the stuff. Yeah. Yeah, no. That's my answer. Yeah, no. I'm not interested in doing that. I've had car loans, and believe me, I've paid through the nose for that vehicle, and I still have one from my 20-something years, 22, when I was 22 to 24. Yeah, I'll share that story with you. 17.93% back in the early 80s. And you're going, what? No, you're lying. I wish I was. 17.93% on a vehicle I could have bought on that day if I had the cash. $11,200. $11,200 at 17.93% for 5 years. And I had to refi it once. Yeah. I had a mortgage back then was 14% back in the early 80s. 14%. That's right. Living the dream, Jerry. Living the dream. All right, let's jump into this. That's kind of a segue into where we're going. So remember, our homepage on our website is the best way for you to connect with our program partners and our recommended businesses. Their logos are there. Click, open, profile page, all the information you need to connect. Car Connection brought to you by our certified financial planning professionals, my brothers from Other Mothers, Tony Miele and Larry Tetro, 50 years of experience as fiduciaries. They work with IG Wealth Management, one of the number one companies in the world for managing monies for trillions of dollars. They manage, Tony and Larry will take care of your portfolio. If you've got an investment with the bank, you really got to get it out of there. They're making money on you like you wouldn't believe. You're making a Ziploc bag of cash. They deal with debt, estate planning, that's powers of attorney, the whole 9 yards. That's not something, ladies and gents, you go and buy a packet for $20. If you read the whole thing, it will tell you need to have an attorney check this for you. So what's the use? It doesn't stand either. Just so you know, the recipe does not sell at the end of the day. You need a proper estate plan with wills and powers of attorney that everything is locked and your last wishes are locked up tight so there's no infighting at the end. So I say that because I've seen it and experienced it also through my own estate planner. And it's really sad how that can damage families forever. They arrange mortgages. I haven't had a mortgage with a bank for decades. And life insurance as well as critical illness insurance. And that is something I would highly recommend. I have all this stuff taken care of through IG Wealth Management, and I can sleep straight at night knowing if I go to my great reward, I have not left family, friends in a great big mess to clean up. Don't do that. Sit down and get your questions answered. We call it an hour and a coffee. It's a discovery meeting. Tony and Larry don't need one more client. These guys are two of the best in Canada. Connect with them. They're giving you their time because they're my brothers from other mothers. And I love them dearly because they have a passion like I do to help you put money back in your wallet instead of it falling out all the time. So connect with either Tony Miele or Larry Tetro. Book that hour and a coffee. You can do it by Zoom, by phone, in a coffee shop, at their boardroom. They'll come to your home, whatever you're comfortable with. Lay all the cards on the table. That's what I will say. Don't hide nothing. There's no condemnation, no sales gimmicks, nothing. These guys will pour it out if you pour it out. So it's an olive branch for you. So if you're struggling with any of those areas, instead of taking the advice from somebody who you respect that's not standing where your feet need to be, that's what my professor would say. If that person's giving you advice, but they're not where you want to be, then you should smile and run, because that's not going to help you. You need to get advice from those who have the fruit on the tree. And this happens in the neighborhood with car repairs. Believe me, push, pull, and drag. Hey, Motormouth, can you take a look at this? Well, I had somebody, one of the guys I work with said, bring it over, and it's screwed up. Can you look at it? And I'm like, all right. I open the hood and I go, oh, yeah, it's screwed up, all right. My recommendation, that fella, don't let him touch a bicycle. Got it? I'll do it. I'm pretty upfront. I'll say, I'll fix this mess up for you, but don't do it again. Just don't. Don't let them touch it. All right, let's get going here this morning. The most expensive, cheap maintenance skips. Well, first of all, the cheapest maintenance skip is you. I've already mentioned it once already. And that is, you have to buy into 100%, ladies or gents, I don't know who I'm talking to. You got to buy into 100% something called vehicle ownership. That means it's your jalopy, it's your ride, and it's your business. You get to make all the decisions. But this, in all seriousness, if all you're doing is being stuck in a vortex that goes on and on forever while you're trading time for money, home to work, home to work, home to work, home to work, and make the stupid car payment, you'll never break that cycle. Why? Because your mindset is not right. You never sold yourself into vehicle ownership. And that's where fleet maintenance just crushes all of you. Because fleet companies that run fleets of vehicles, it is of utmost important that every single unit gets out on the road, runs the load, and makes the company money. How do they do it? All the vehicles that they buy or lease, most of the time they lease it, they know they still have to maintain it. It's not taken care of by the leasing company. That's their deal. If they want those fleet vehicles to make the money, they got to keep them rolling. So what do they understand? Yeah, exactly. Vehicle ownership. Let me share some numbers with you. I thought I would start with this. All right. This all came from a conversation I had, and I was in a dealership locally, and I was getting some parts. That was an interesting thing. Very. I see the vehicle in the showroom for just under $59,000 sticker price. Okay. And I'm going, egads, man. That's just shy of $60,000. So if you had 60 $1,000 bills and you set them on the kitchen table, would you leave the room? That's a question my professor would ask. Would you leave the room? Motormouth, I go, heck, if I lose $20 in the driveway, I'm going to trip you on the way there to find it before you do. So let's run through this. What does that look like? What does that look like at the end of the day in the first year? So we decide to plug this in 2026, $59,000 sticker price. Put the taxes on there, and that's not including shipping, freight, and PDI. And I could talk about that all day. Yeah. No, I won't. Yeah, no, I won't go there. So that's not including that stuff that gets tacked on. Shipping, PDI, and freight. Yeah. Brings the total now to $59,767 for that ride, for you to take that home. A 6-year loan is going to cost you $830 a month. Okay? Stay with me. So the total of the vehicle at $59,767 doesn't include interest for the first year. So I asked Chat, what is the average interest rate? So you can fact check me if you want. You might get a different answer today. I don't know. 6%. So that's average based on your credit rating. So if your credit rating is in the tank, it's going to be probably 8 to 12. So interest on that $59,767 out the door is going to be for the first year, $3,586 in interest on that $59,767 out the door. Here's the keys. Thanks for coming. Okay. So you're going to make payments that in the first year. Now, this is a 72-month loan, all right? 72 months. Talk to a certified financial planner, and they'll give you a cinder block to bang your head against on that one. So in 1 year, you will have made $9,960 towards the whole loan. Yeah, so just under 10 grand. You home to work, 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 $9,960 just to have that vehicle in the driveway. So at the end of the year, you will have paid $6,374 just to principal. So that'll come off your $59,767 out the door. It gets better. So your new balance then, at the end of the day, you will have paid $9,960 in interest and $6,000 $3,374. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm backing up. No, $3,586 in interest for the first year and $6,374 towards principal. So your next year, your purchase price now changes, so the balance changes, and now the interest is calculated on that new balance. So you're now down from $59,767. You paid off $6,374 in principal, bringing you down to $53,393 is your new balance for them to calculate interest. So the interest in the second year will now be $3,203.58 at 6%. So if we add that all together, principal and interest for 1 year comes to $63,353. Okay, now I'm going to flip over to my other little doodle. So the question here is, you still have to gas and oil, insurance, and anything not covered under warranty is out of your pocket. What's not covered under warranty? Anything that's wear and tear. Anything that's normal wear and tear. Tires, brakes, fluids, filters, lights. That's pretty much it. Everybody has to pay for that. None of that is covered under warranty. That's normal wear and tear. That's what they call vehicle ownership. So someone said to me, well, I just don't think it's a good idea. And I've had this conversation, I can't tell you how many times. So it's just, it just rotates. I just can't see putting money into an older vehicle. You're spending money on something that's old. Well, you still have to maintain what you just bought brand new. They don't cover everything. There's still wear and tear. It's your baby. The warranty items, are covered for mileage or time, whatever runs out first. So if you're a high miler, you're never going to take advantage of any warranty. And here's the thing. If anything major is going to happen, it's going to happen in the first year. So how many people, including my pops, who bought an extended warranty for like $3,000 on a used vehicle he bought, how much money did you get to collect on that, Pops? Nothing. $3,000 gone. It would have been better to put the $3,000 in an account off to the side and use that for repairs. So now I'm going to use my own vehicle as an asset or a liability. And here's where you got, and it all ties in with the most expensive, cheap maintenance tips. Cheap maintenance tips is vehicle maintenance, regular maintenance, scheduled maintenance, preventative maintenance. The key word is what? In everything I just said, maintenance. You don't wait till stuff breaks. You stay ahead of the curve. That way, stuff doesn't get away from you. All right, so I have a 2000 Toyota FJ Cruiser, 379,000 K. It's going to be a member of the 400,000 K club. It's 19 years old. I bought it in 2012. I got to do an exhaust upgrade this year because the exhaust manifolds are they're looking decrepit. I've never seen anything quite like it before. Even on vintage vehicles I work on, the manifolds are they're rotting. They're rotting. And they're the factory ones. But anyways, we still press on. I got 379,000 K. The exhaust upgrade is going to, and the manifolds with catalytic converters included, going to be all in. The entire back half of exhaust is all stainless steel now. So I got fed up with changing it. I said, Jesse, let's just put stainless on there and we'll take care of the forward stuff later. So $1,500 all in is what it's going to cost to bring the 07 FJ right up to stuff and get those exhaust manifolds with catalytic converters changed out. Okay? So stay with me. So if I take that $1,500 and I divide that by 12 months, that's $125 a month. What can you buy this afternoon for $125 a month? The truck is not falling apart. Why? I didn't pay $45,000 for it. The lady I bought it from did. Yeah, exactly. Best car in the driveway, from any certified financial planner's mouth to your ears, will be the one that's paid for. So what are you going to drive for $125 a month? The original exhaust manifolds with catalytic converters lasted 19 years. Have I been throwing a ton of parts on this in 19 years? It's never left me by the roadside. Touch wood. Why? Stay ahead of the curve. Do the little stuff. Regular maintenance, preventative maintenance is the key. That's how fleet vehicles keep their stuff running up and down the highway, making the company a profit. Moving product. You're moving product every day. You got to get your butt to work and home to the kids, and the kids get them taken care of, to their programs, this, that, and the other thing, and doctor's appointment and dentists and everything. Yeah, you're a fleet vehicle owner. So if I total this all up over the course of 19 years of owning this 2007 Toyota FJ Cruiser, it will have cost me $78 a year over 19 years to do the exhaust manifolds. Can you buy something for $78 a year and it's still going? I'll make it to the 600,000 kilometer club. You say, well, here's what I always get thrown at me, and I got a great answer for it. But you're a mechanic. Okay. But the vehicle still needs maintenance. Hello? Okay, I can do it myself, but the vehicle still has maintenance that has to be done. Hello? Right? How about your own? It still has maintenance that needs to be done. So even though I can do it myself, what are you saying? What is it you're saying when somebody says that? Well, you're a mechanic. Oh, I know some mechanics, I wouldn't even take their car to the corner store, but I'm pretty anal retentive about, you know what, these things are worth a lot of money. That lady that I bought this FJ from paid $45,000 first owner right out of the dealership. I have the paperwork. She gave me all the paperwork on it. And you know what? She maintained it. She maintained it to the nines. It was worth buying. I just had to take over where she left off. So the answer here is, on my 2007 FJ Cruiser, have I been foolish to put parts in it? Have I been foolish to do preventative maintenance? Stay ahead of the curve? Don't let stuff break, fall off, or get you hauled in on the back of a flatbed. That doesn't happen to maintenance, to fleet vehicles, because if it does, next time the tender comes up, you're the man. Yeah, you're not going to get the tender. Our job as service techs working on fleet vehicles was to make sure we missed absolutely nothing. And as our boss would say, if you can't look at a component and say, yes, it can remain in service, it's not a maybe, it's a no, it can't, it needs to be changed. Because if we lose the contract, we lose a lot of work for the shop. And the maintenance manager will probably get fired, and they hire another one. Just like when the team doesn't pass the grade, the coach gets fired the next day. Yeah, it's always a coach. Can never be the parts, right? The components to the game. So here's my question to you. This 07 Toyota FJ Cruiser is an asset or a liability to me? Asset or liability? That's where you have to go mentally. Is you, mama, if you're the one listening, or fella, it's time to look at your vehicles seriously and say, how much home to work, pay the monthly payment and fix it? Are you going to do before you wake up and go, how come he can do that? How come this guy called Motormouth can do that? I haven't done it once. My vehicle, before I got the FJ, I needed something bigger to tow the boat. And exactly, on the boat, the best day to own a boat is the day you sell it. If you don't maintain it, that thing will sink you to the bottom of the lake. Same thing. Snowmobiles, I heard them out last night, just putting a giver to it. Play hard, pay hard. That's what happens. I have a snowmobile. I bought it in 1996, and it's still like brand new. And being along the lake, it's good to have in case we get totally snowed in. We can yank the cord out the door and get to the store and maybe help some people get medication or some groceries or whatever, help them because they're stuck indoors. So living along the lake, when I moved down here in 2005, my neighbor said, "You got a snowmobile?" I go, "Yeah, I do." So somebody keeps telling me I have to sell it. And I'm going, he goes, "No, you don't. You don't sell that. Because the moment you need it and you can help others, it's going to be an asset." So here's what I want to remind you, is that everything that you skip on your vehicle, most of you know that you don't spend money on the car until you absolutely necessarily have to. That's a dangerous way of living with a car. Is even though they may be getting older, if you keep them going longer, it's money in your pocket. Even though I have this $1,500 coming up, probably sometime early summer, when the money's there, $78 over 19 years. That's what those exhaust manifolds have cost me. Now they got to be replaced. So if I put $78 away once a year in a cookie jar from the day I bought it to prepare for that replacement, is it worth it, you think? Yeah. I get people that want to buy it off me all the time, and I go, like, what would I buy? You give me 25 grand for it. What can I go and get tomorrow that's not got problems, that doesn't have to have money spent on it? So you've got to sell yourself into fleet maintenance. It's not just a car. And if you, like I said, if you have 2 or 3 of these things in the driveway, you need to track the maintenance and keep them going as long as you can, because what I teach is how to keep your vehicle long term and make money on it. That's how fleet companies make money on moving product. No downtime. No downtime. That is the purpose of the maintenance manager, is to make sure, just like the coach, make sure they win, coach, or else, yeah, the fleet manager, make sure we don't have vehicles down because the maintenance didn't get done. Exactly. We have to adapt to that same mindset, that it's not going to cost you a fortune to keep it. It is a piece of machinery. It is a tool that takes you to and from work. It is a tool that gets you to your vacation destination, unless you fly or boat, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It gets you from A to B. That's what it does. You don't need to drive a vehicle and make massive payments to impress people you don't even know, really, and you may not even like. Yeah, it's a tool. And that's the way you view it. And we have a bit of a fleet that we take out in the summer to fundraising events and car shows to get in and around the people, meet the people, hear the people. And people say, "Oh, you got lots of toys." No, they're tools. We take them out into the community to get a chance to talk to the people of the community, let the kids have their pictures taken in the cars, and they're thrilled. And it's usually the mothers that are even more thrilled and look at the husbands and go, "Can you buy this for me? How come I don't have one?" So it's a lot of fun. And we've done it for 31 years, and we paid next to nothing for the fleet and have maintained them, and we have to keep them maintained to keep them going. And it's that simple. It's a fleet. We have to stay on the maintenance so they're ready to go at a moment's notice to get to a fundraising event that can help nonprofit faith-based organizations build their kitty to run their programs for free for the community. So that's how it all works. It all comes together and circles around fleet maintenance. Is getting the vehicle, even though there's no bells and whistles on, and you got to stop extending oil changes. This is the big killer. That all this maintenance-free talk is nothing but a bunch of crap. I didn't make it 19 years with the 07 FJ Cruiser and almost 400K without maintenance. I don't extend any service. That's how I got there. Fleet maintenance. That's how I got there. Not once. The Rocket is 320,000 kilometers. 1999. I have a small truck that I bought, and I nicknamed him Mo because it's a Mojave. So I've always called him Mo. My little Mo, I bought in 1984, $11,200 at 17.93% interest. He has 169,000 kilometers now, and I did the rear brakes for the very first time 2 winters ago. I worked on them all winter, brought everything right up to speed because I had packed them away and moved out of town and left them in a barn. It was sad. I was just stupid. I shouldn't have done it, but life got busy for 13 years, and then I found them and brought them out, fixed them up. If I can do it, you can do it. And in February, we'll make our car connection maintenance schedule kit available to you. It's based on fleet maintenance, so you can track your vehicle maintenance top to bottom. When you get from the top to the bottom, checking boxes, that's all you got to do. You don't need to be a brain surgeon or a scientist to operate the maintenance schedule I created for myself when working on fleet vehicles, so I didn't miss anything. And so I've turned that into a way for you to track your vehicle maintenance. Somebody in the house has to be the big boy and take charge of your fleet maintenance. Whether you have one vehicle or multiple, it's still part of a fleet. That's your fleet. And it's important. So if you don't want to be doing all that trading time for money and every 3 to 5 years getting in that vortex of buying another vehicle and treating it the very same way, you're always going to be car broke. There, I said it. I'm all about honesty, let me tell you. Somebody said, what's the word they describe me? I can't remember now. Anal retentive? Yeah, that works. Yeah, that works. Not as much as I used to be. Come on now. But anyways, yes, I like to do the job, do it once, do it well, and share it with others to show you how you can save a ton of money. Own an automobile, pack the miles on it, stop listening to the salesman's lips slapping away like a broken armpit, and you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. And at the shop I worked at, where we did a ton of fleet maintenance, we did the Hamilton Wentworth School Board, we did CHCH TV, we did Brinks, separate school board. At that time was the Big Al Farm Markets. We had all their fleet vehicles coming in. Then it turned to GAL, food companies, and I was surprised because I went by the same building where we used to go and pick the trucks up and take them back. And it's still there, but it's got a different name on the building again now. But it's still the same place that I always remember that. We worked on a lot of fleet service vehicles, and our job as service techs was to make sure that when that vehicle went back into the fleet, back into service, nothing broke. Nothing. Not a thing. Not a leak, not a zip, not a pop, not a doodah, nothing. So if we adapt to that, guess what? You will not be car broke anymore. Stop looking at it as age and mileage. Age and mileage. If we keep the structural integrity of that vehicle strong and healthy by rust proofing every single year, it's pennies a day to do it. Pennies to keep the structure tight and right. Everything else, we can change it up, service it, repair it, and get it back down the road. Just like that. Over and over and over again until you don't want to. But you will not be car broke. You won't. Give me the worst vehicle with pattern failures on the planet, and I'll get it to the 400,000 K club very easily. In fact, I just have one. It was gifted, and it needed a lot of work to bring it back up to top drawer condition, and now it is. It just certified, and it's on the road legitimately and ready to roll. And there's only a couple things left to do on it. It needs a door hinge, and I have it. It's worn out on the driver's side. It's got a little wiggle to it. So instead of keep slamming the door, fellas, until you break the door latch and split the door and the striker plate is all messed up, you change the stinking hinge. That's what you do. It's worn, change it. That's what I'm talking about. Don't wait till it gets to the next level of destruction. The hinge was like $78. Change the stinking hinge. Get the door working right so you don't have to slam it and turn the car inside out. Number 2, it's all got brakes, 100% emergency brake, all brand new. It's all working. All of it. Got a little wiggle on the shifter. There's a clip broken in there. I'll pull that off when I go and get some transmission fluid from Nissan because it should have had 2 transmission services by now. It's got a CVT tranny, which is known to be, yeah. So how do you take care of it? Stay ahead of the curve. Change the oil with the factory oil. It has to be factory from all the articles I read up on it, and change it every 30,000 miles. So every 50K transmission service. Keep going. Don't pull a trailer with it. That's where the problems start. Don't abuse it. Don't drive it like you stole it. Take care of it. Treat it like, here's what you have to do, and I leave you with this. This is my closing remark. Most expensive cheap maintenance tricks and skips. All of what I just talked about. All of it. You got to stay ahead of it. Not wait till it's decrepit, till it's on a flatbed, it's leaking more fluids than it has, tires are worn out, the alignment's way out to whack, front end suspension's all killed and crushed because you drive it like you stole it. You drive it like you live like a rich man, but you're not. That's the truth. You live like a rich man, but you're not. You don't really have the money to replace it. And you don't really have the ability to treat the next one the same and be car broke for the rest of your life. You don't have to be. If I can do it, you can do it. Have a great day. Make it a great day. Happy, healthy motoring, my friends. And you know what? You're awesome. You can do this. I'll coach you and put a lot of money back in your pocket. In fact, my former landlord from 2005 still driving his very old GMC Jimmy Blazer thing. Yeah, it's from the 80s. And he's still driving it. And it still looks really, really good. How does that happen? How does that happen? Fleet maintenance. Don't be car broke. Stuff cash back in your wallet and drive a vehicle that still looks really, really good. Really, really good all the time. We'll see you tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. sharp, for another Motor Mouth morning drive. Have a great day. Peace, patience, kindness always. Bye for now.